Hey homies, it's Zach, Ohio Skater. Got another video for you today. I wanted to talk about some stuff that's been going on with some stuff I've been reading. You know what I'm saying? So um first I want to talk about I love to read. I read all the time and I love it, but for most of the time I've been reading on my own in my life, I pretty much just read political theory, political philosophy, some religious texts, some, with some Christian stuff, some Taoist stuff, some Buddhist stuff, um, some deist stuff, some polytheist stuff. Mostly I've read socialist political theory, classical liberal political theory, anarchist political theory, all sorts of stuff like that. That's mostly what I'm into, and I've read some language learning books, right here I got Italian for Dummies. I also got Polish for Dummies. I got Esperanto books. I got Spanish books. I read those, But something I haven't read in a long time, something I basically haven't read since I was forced to do so when I was in high school, was a novel. I have not read novels in forever. I have not actually read a story, a straight up story, in a long time, in a very long time. And my mom is always telling me I should read more of them because it's more relaxing. It's more just kick back and not so serious, just relaxing, And I agree with her. I should read more novels because I do need to read more stuff that's just relaxing to read, and just a story that's good for the imagination, you know what I'm saying? Like a story, So, I finally got to the point where it was I needed to read a novel. I needed to go back to reading novels, for the sake of my sanity, because politics was just getting so insane, and all that stuff is political theory is really serious, it's really it's harder to read than a novel is, and it's serious, it talks about the real shit that you got to do, or that we should do, or that has been done, and it's depressing sometimes, but novels are good stories, completely made up fiction, but just good for the imagination, and so I bought some novels, and I'm going to show you the novels that I bought and the novels that I'm reading right now. So the first two novels I'm going to show you are novels that I'm reading right now. I bought 4 novels, but I'm reading 2 of them at a time, okay? And you'll notice some of the themes and genres that I figured I would be into, and I think I am liking these genres. And yeah, we'll just get into it. So, the first novel I'm reading is by C.J. Box. It's called The Bitterroots. And the Bitterroots is the name of a mountain range in Montana. And C.J. Box, I don't know if you saw that Paramount Plus video, C.J. Box is actually the dude who wrote those Joe Pickett novels. I told you about the show Joe Pickett, how I was watching it, how I like it, and how it's based on some novels. Well, I found the guy who wrote those novels. But this is a different series than the Joe Pickett series. This is the Cassie Duell series. And Cassie Duell is a woman. The woman Cassie Duell is the main character of the novel. And she's a private investigator and a former police officer, and she was a police officer for a while, became a private investigator, and she is doing this investigation for this lawyer who she kind of has some personal ties to, kind of as a favor, but it's a really crazy story. I won't spoil it, but it involves a very serious crime, and the perpetrator is the black sheep of a powerful family, and there's all sorts of family rivalry, and the way it describes Montana is really cool, and I've talked about how I wanted to live out west. I got my Zion National Park hat on right now, and Montana is totally a place I would settle down in, and I've been looking into moving to Montana lately, actually. So I got this book after that because I saw it took place in Montana. I'm like, hell yeah, I gotta check this out because I love shit like that. In Montana, if you don't know about Montana, Montana is a huge state area-wise. One of the larger states in terms of area, square miles. But it doesn't have a lot of people. It has barely over 1 million people. Where I'm from, Ohio, it's probably half the size in area, but it has 11 million people. Montana is probably twice the size of Ohio, has only barely above 1 million people. You know what I'm saying? But it's full of like mountain ranges and rivers and valleys and shit. And it's really cool. So yeah, good book. This is I've been flying through this one. In less than 24 hours I read like 100 pages. These novels are they're so entertaining, but they're so much easier to read than like nonfiction, like philosophy and shit. And it takes the edge off. It's very relaxing, you know? It's more entertaining than like nonfiction, but it's also easier to read, you know? So another one, the other novel I'm currently reading, I'm reading 2 novels at a time. So the other one I'm currently reading is Black Spire, a Star Wars novel, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's by Delilah S. Dawson. Check it out, Star Wars novel. So Star Wars has a bunch of novels. Star Wars has a whole universe of novels as well as their film universe and their TV show universe. It's all one huge universe. So they have books. They've had books for a long time. And Star Wars, I grew up on Star Wars when I was very young. Like, my parents were into Star Wars back when it came out in like the late 70s and the 80s. My parents are OG fans of it, and they showed me the original like 70s, 80s Star Wars movies when I was like really young. Those were like the first movies I really were like my favorite movies, you know? And so I've watched all the other Star Wars movies since then. And yeah, Star Wars is just super cool. And yeah, Black Spire takes place on a planet that is on the edge of wild space. So there's wild space, which is like the space that's completely wilderness considered that no one really goes to. And this city is on a planet on the edge of wild space. And the rebellion, the woman who is the main character, again, there's a woman, both these 2 books I'm reading have women as main characters. The woman who's the main character of this book is a spy for the rebellion. And Princess Leia sends her on a mission to set up an outpost in a far-off, very distant planet that is away from the authority of the New Order. Very far away. And she's tasked with setting up a new base, a new outpost, basically, for the rebellion, for the resistance. And yeah, so it's really cool. And this also has a lot of like really cool like forest-type nature in it. It's like a forest-type environment, a very, very natural, very, very still like a very grand environment type place, you know, but it's got like this city in the middle of this environment that is like, it has no government. It's a popular place for like illegal smugglers, and it's run by a gangster, and it's very cool. So you got some like anarchy themes in there, you know, like no government, shit like that. But yeah, it's really cool. So those are the 2 books I'm reading right now. And I'm about 100 pages into the Bitterroots, and I'm about 50 pages into Black Spire. I started reading them both yesterday. They're very good. And yeah, so the next 2 books I'm going to talk about are 2 books I haven't cracked open yet. I'm going to read them after I read these 2. Or once I finish one, I'll open one of these or whatever. So, yeah. And the first one is called The Trackers. The Trackers. Now, I know less about these books because I haven't read any of them at all, but I've read the summaries. The Trackers. This one takes place, or at least it starts off in Wyoming, which is similar to Montana. It's out in the country, mountains and forests and shit, like a western. You know, they're both westerns, but they're not like classic westerns with cowboys and shit like from the 1800s. Like the Bitterroots takes place in the modern day, but this one is interesting. The Trackers takes place in the Depression era. And I don't know if you've ever seen those photos from the Depression era where they sent photographers out to the country to take images to show like rural poverty and stuff like that, like the classic one with the woman like going like this or whatever, like the woman who lived on a farm or whatever. It's got that kind of vibe. It takes place in the Depression era, but also in a rural area. And I guess it involves an artist who is like who gets like a New Deal job, like they get a job from the New Deal to paint something for a town or whatever, because the New Deal had all sorts of like stuff going on like that. But then they have to like track someone down, someone who goes missing, and I don't know why the artist is the one that tracks them down. I haven't gotten into this one at all yet, but I don't know. It seems interesting. They got to go track someone down who ran away, and yeah, so it seems cool. The other book is called, oh, and that's by, The Trackers is by Charles Frazier. Yeah, The Trackers is by Charles Frazier. So the other book is called Morty. It's by Robert Repino, and it's another science fiction one. So if you've noticed so far, there's a theme. There's like, I got some westerns and I got some science fiction. Those are two shits that I'm into, like westerns and science fiction. Like, two different kind of vibes, but still like, you need a little variety, you know what I'm saying? So I got two different kind of themes. I don't want to just stick with one theme. So I got two westerns and two science fiction. This is a science fiction book that sort of has like some environmentalist commentary. It's about like, so it's about these ants, the ants that you see crawling on the ground and shit, and they wage a war against humans. I guess they in some way, maybe by like climbing all over I don't even know how, but they take control of all the animals on the earth. And this cat, I think the cat's name is Morty. This cat is part of the ants army, and I guess he is a war hero in the battle against humans, you know. So it's science fiction, and it's also like some environmentalist commentary, like some commentary about how humans treat animals and shit like that, and how animals are fighting back, you know. So I'm excited to read that one. Seems really cool, and I love cats, you know. Cats are cool. I'm allergic to cats, but I've always wanted to maybe get like a hypoallergenic cat, you know, those cats that don't cause allergies, like, because I love cats. And even when I'm around cats, even though I'm allergic to them, I don't really feel much at all. Like, I don't really get affected by it as much as they told me I was allergic to them. I don't know. But anyway, these books all seem really cool. 2 westerns and 2 sci-fi books, and I'm really excited to read. I'm really loving these 2 so far. The Bitterroots and the Black Spire. I'm really loving these 2, and I'm hoping I'll also love The Trackers and Morty. I think I will, you know. I read the summaries to all these books before I bought them. These all seem like up my alley, you know, so I think I'll like these 2 as well. Yeah, so, and it's very relaxing to read a novel. Like, novels like these, it's very cool, it's very entertaining, it's very relaxing, and it's not as serious as reading theory all the time. You know, you need some shit for your imagination here and there. You can't just read, like, straight up philosophy or history all the fucking time. You need something to unwind to relax to, and something for your imagination. And that's why I got these books. And I'm going to start to read a lot more novels now. I think, you know, it's just going to be part of what I read. That's just, I'm glad I had that thought, and I'm glad I went and bought these, and I'm glad my mom has been on me about how I should be reading novels or whatever, and it's really cool, and I can't wait to read some more. So I'm probably going to read some more right after this video. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. More content on the way soon. Always going to have more content. I know I took a long break for a while, but I'm back and I'm making more videos again, and I think these are better videos than I was making. Maybe not all of them. Some of the old videos I made I still really like, still think they're really cool, but you know, and with the quality of the videos, it's still all work in progress. I'm getting used to this YouTube thing. Like, I'm not an expert at knowing what exactly people want to see and how they want to see it, but I really don't care as much about that as much as I care about I'm making videos that I like. I'm making videos that I would like, and then if people fuck with it, they fuck with it. If they don't, they don't. But I do this for fun, you know, for my fun, you know, and so I make videos that I like, you know. And if you don't fuck with it, you don't have to watch, but I'll try to make some shit that is pleasing to the audience as well, you know, but it all comes from shit that I'm interested in, you know. So anyway, I've gone on long enough. I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.